welcome back. It's been like 2 weeks, and we're back, and we're not in the Apex. It is a fight night, but we're not in the Apex. We're in China. We're at the Galaxy Arena in Macau, China. There's going to be a lot of Chinese fighters on this card. A lot of fighters from, you know, the Eastern Hemisphere. Main event, we've got Song Yadong versus Davidson Figueiredo. It's going to be pretty good. Then you got on the co-main, we've got Ming Yang Zhang versus Alonzo Menafield, and that's in the co-main. Sergey Pavlovich is going to turn up. Kaya Sakura is going to be there. It's going to be a chilled night. It's going to be a chilled one with the boys. But first, the girls. We've got Loma Luke Bonmi versus Jacqueline Amarin. First fight of the night. It's an alright fight. Both girls pretty evenly matched. Not well beaters. I think both coming off of a loss as well. Let me just check. I'm not crazy. Yeah, both coming off of a loss. I think Luke Bonmi is probably ever so slightly by a hair, and that's how far is it? We're a minute in, and that's dick of difference between the two in striking. But I do think that Jacqueline Amarin is probably going to be a fair bit better in the grappling. And I do think we might get a submission here. I think at the end of the day, it's a 50-50. You know, either we get the submission or we don't. No, it's 50-50. It really is. We're going to go with the submission. We're going to go with Jacqueline Amarin by submission over Loma Luke Bonmi, which is a shame because I like Loma Luke Bonmi, but it's how the cookie crumbles. I think she's going to get armbarred, to be honest with you. I think she's going to get armbarred in like late first, early second. I'll go with early second. I'm going to say second round armbar finish for Jacqueline Amarin over Luke Bonmi. Next fight is Kangji Zhu Kangji, hope that's how you pronounce it, versus Rodrigo Vera. I lean towards Vera a little bit, to be honest with you. Both guys doing all right outside of the UFC. We are both debuting. How much stock do you put in, the road to the UFC victories? Decent wins, I guess. Not a lot of finishing there. Not a lot of finishes. No finishes on the road to UFC split decisions. Going to be a tough one. I'm going to lean towards Rodrigo Vera. I think Rodrigo Vera has just fought. Being in the LFA, fighting in professional Shooto Brazil. He's been around. He's gone around places where it seems like we're a little bit, what's the word? Stuck in Asia. So yeah, a little bit more diversity for Rodrigo Vera. It's probably going to carry him a long way. So yeah, we're going to go with Rodrigo Vera, based on experience, just based on a better class of opponents, a wider variety of opponents. And I think Zhu will blossom into a better fighter now that he's in the UFC and he gets to fight a different range and kind of step up his game and train with different people and whatnot. Because it matters. It matters. Different places have different techniques and styles. There's different cultures, if you will. Anyway, Angela Hill. This is I covered it for myself. That lady, Angela Hill's fighting Jingnan Xiao Zhong. Oh, that's right. So is it Zhong Jingnan? Zhong Jingnan. There we go. Zhong Jingnan versus Angela Hill. Boom. We figured it out. We got there in the end. I'm definitely going to do that on at least every other fighter. Yeah, Angela over the hill. Angela over the hill. That should be a overkill hill. It should just be over the hill. But yeah, Angela over the hill. Probably not. 41 years of age, coming off a 2-fight skid. She didn't do terribly in those fights, to be fair to her. In fact, I think we actually picked her to beat Lucindo, which did not age well, as you can see. But yeah, no, she's over the hill. I do think she's being fed to the one fighter who we've signed. Moderate favourite as well. Tapology agrees with me. So yeah, is that the first Asian fighter I've gone with, or the first Chinese fighter on the Chinese cards? She's Thai, but I didn't go with the Asian fighter. Where are you from? Where is that? Is that Peru? I don't know where that is. Peru, yeah. Peru. Alright. So yeah, so first Chinese fighter we've picked. And it's a lady. But yeah, I'm not even gonna try and say that name again. But yeah, I think Angela's over the hill, if you will. Not meaning to rhyme it, but yeah. Yeah, I think she's gonna get decision. I do think it's gonna be a decision victory, for Jingnan, Jiang, Jingnan, however you say it. Yeah, yeah, Zhang Jingnan by decision. On to the next one. We've got Ray Surya versus Lewis Gurul. I feel like as Lewis Gurul just had like a million fights cancelled. I feel like every week I'm talking about Lewis Gurul. You know what I mean? It's always happening. I'm always talking about Lewis Gurul. He's had one fight against Johnny Walker cancelled. Oh, Josh Walker? I read that so wrong. Outrageous. Oh no, he's just trash. Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking about him like every other week. I really do. I feel like I'm always talking about Lewis Gurul. Gurul. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna go with Ray Tatsuya. Lewis Gurul is a can. I'll be honest with you, he's a can. Who did he beat in his last time out? Who did he beat? Yo, I was talking about him like a week ago. What the fuck? He fought. He did fight. He fought like a week. I'm like, did his fight get cancelled? He fought 5 days, 6 hours ago. What? Crazy. And he did win, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think he's going to win this one. I do think he's going to get flattened by Ray Tatsuya. Do we think a TKO over the Gurul? Maybe. Tapology seems to think a decision or a submission's more likely. I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. Lost to Jesus. That's forgivable, I suppose. No, we can't do it. I know we picked against him last time and he won. He did win that fight, to be fair. No, we're going with Ray Tatsuya. I stand by. I think that was a fluke. You know, everybody get a broken clock is right twice a day. You know, at least twice a day a broken clock is still right twice a day. So we're gonna go with Ray Tatsuya. Lewis Gurul. Hopefully he's not right again. But yeah, I'll take that. I'm gonna go with Ray Tatsuya. I think. Fuck it, we'll go with the submission. Yeah, Ray Tatsuya by submission over Lewis Gurul. On to the next one. We've got Aro. It's like Mongolian, isn't it? Aroquileng. Aroquileng. Hope that's how you say it. Versus Cody Haddon. I'm picking Cody Haddon for this one. I think Aroquileng has been around for a while. Is it Mongolian Murderer or the Mongolian Marauder? The Mongolian Murderer has been around for a little while now. Not with the best performances, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think they're going to use him to build Cody Haddon a little bit here, who is only fresh to the UFC. So yeah, I think they're using him to build Cody Haddon in this fight. So I am leaning towards Haddon. Does he chin him? Very potentially. Actually, does he chin him? Do you chin people? I imagine you decision people. Okay. He's quite well rounded, isn't he? Quite well rounded young man outside of the young man with the same age. Quite well rounded young man outside of the UFC. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go with TKO. We're gonna go with Cody Haddon by TKO over Aroquileng. I don't even know how you would say that. Aroquileng is going to lose, okay? Cody Haddon, yeah. I'm going to say Cody Haddon by knockout, TKO, over Aroquileng. On to the next one. we've got Meng Ding. Meng Ding. Ding Meng? Who knows? Versus Jose Enrique. I think that's definitely how you say that. That's definitely how you say that one. Meng Ding versus... Well, Ding versus Enrique. I imagine that Ding is probably going to ding Enrique. Hey, Enrique's got a good couple of knockouts out there outside the UFC there. Yeah. Oh, he lost on Contenders, though. Interesting. Very interesting. 31 years of age. Slightly shorter. Slightly shorter. But everyone thinks Ding's going to do it. So, yeah, you know what? I'm rocking with Ding. I think Ding's going to ding him. I think Jose Enrique is going to get dinged by Meng Ding. So yeah, we're going to go with Meng Ding. Again, is that only the second Chinese fighter I've picked on a Chinese card? Not good. Anyway, next fight. Next fight is Luis Felipe Diaz versus Yisak Lee. I'm just going to call him Lee. And Diaz, I guess. Diaz. More debuters, right? Yeah, more debuters. Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to debut because there's not like a wealth to look at. The level is there's a big decline when we go outside the UFC in talent. Yeah, pretty good. Finish or be finished. Oh, we like that. Loses a decision, gets chinned, wins by submission. That's pretty good. Wins by some submissions. Sulu has stretch. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So decent grappling game. From Diaz here. I should have expected he's Brazilian. Tough one. Korean taller. It is a tough one. Lee is a little bit taller. The tank. Oh, it's a tough one. Do I think he'll get subbed? He's got some decent grappling of his own. Got a little Von Flue there. Okay. Tough one. You know what? I'm gonna go with Lee. I'm gonna go with Lee. Just based on the fact that Lee has got some, he's got some ground and pound finishes. Yeah, he's got some ground and pound finishes, and it does seem like he's been caught before. Diaz has been caught before, so we could see a repeat of that. Maybe he's able to survive the grappling and just kind of keep the fight standing where Diaz isn't going to want him. Based on these right here. So yeah, we're gonna go with Lee. We're gonna go with Lee, and I think it's probably gonna be a TKO for Yisak Lee. Back out of there. Next fight is Alex Perez versus Suma Deji. Yeah, Suma Deji. I always worry I want to say Suma Banshee, which, if you know, you know, but that's something completely different. Yeah, Alex Perez bouncing back against Charles Johnson. Yeah, that's all right, I guess. Charles Johnson kind of fights the level. He's a bit of a weird one. And that was only 3 months ago, so he's staying active too. Fairly active fighter, to be fair. Beat Jesus. It's a pretty good win right there. Yeah. Lost to Charles Johnson a year and 7 months ago, though. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting one. Honestly, an interesting one. Near even as well. It's kind of a pick 'em. Height and reach. Okay. Height and reach advantage for Suma Deji. Yeah, I feel like that could play into his hand quite well. I do. I do think this one's probably going to be a decision victory. This one's going to be a decision, I think, for Suma Deji. I think so. I think we're going to get a decision victory for Suma Deji in this one, and that makes it another. I think that's three. Three of the. Has there been five? So 3 of the 5. I'm picking more Chinese guys as we go. On to the next one. We've got Jake Matthews versus Carlston Harris. Yeah. Harris has been getting chinned. Yeah. Harris has been chinned. maybe they're trying to get Jake Matthews a knockout here. Maybe they're trying to get Matthews a knockout win here. I don't know. Interesting one. He has been submitted though. He was submitted by Neil Magny. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go with Jake Matthews. I think they're trying to get Jake Matthews a knockout here. That's all I can guess. That's all I can assume is they're trying to get Jake Matthews some sort of finish. I suppose he could get a submission too. It's not beyond the realm of possibility, to be fair. It's really not. But yeah, it seems like then again, he's not really as powerful as a Chaos Williams or a Ponzinibbio or a Shavkat Rakhmonov, to be fair. Yeah, is Jake Matthews better than all those guys? Because those guys are all fairly decent. Shavkat Rakhmonov's really good. It's not a bad loss at all. Beat Jared Gordon. I do think that was a dodgy one though, right? I can't remember. And he submitted Jeremiah Wells. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see what Tapology thinks. Tapology thinks Matthews. I see. I think they're trying to get him a. You know what? Yeah, it's going to be a submission. I think he will catch him on the feet, but I think he'll just default to submission when he gets down there. So yeah, I think we're going to go with Jake Matthews by submission. I do think the UFC is trying to get him a knockout. I think like the Aussie striker is a new class of fighter that seems to be pretty popular. So the UFC want a few more of those, I guess, or want to build that kind of rep. So you want Jake Matthews, who's been around for a little bit now, to kind of join that Aussie strikers gang, but he's more of a Aussie grappler, I guess. Anyway, you do what you need to do to win. Anyway, yeah, I think you might sting him on the feet and then submit him, rear naked choke or some shit like that. But yeah, we're going to go Jake Matthews by submission over Charleston Harris. I'll be devastated if he actually commits to the TKO and like ground and pounds him out. I'll be devastated because I've just talked myself out of it. But yeah, Jake Matthews by submission. On to the next one. We've got Kaya Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman. Is it crazy to think Cameron Smotherman might win this one? I know he's probably an underdog. Yeah. See, look, here's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's too easy. Now, we're both on 2 fight skids. I lost to Tim Elliott. Isn't amazing, to be honest with you. Losing to Tim Elliott's like Kaya Sakura should be doing a little bit better than that, in my opinion. Tim Elliott's not terrible. I assume Kaya Sakura was better than Tim Elliott. Lost to Pantoja when Pantoja was champ. That's fair enough. He lost to a champion. That's fine. And then obviously we debuted against a fucking champ. So yeah. But a decent enough career in Ryzen beforehand. And Cameron Smotherman, a guy who's been around in the UFC for a little while now, kind of being raised in the UFC, and he's kind of gone on his first. He lost the fight to Shahi Sedi. He lost the fight to Sedi, and then lost again to Ricky Simone, and he kind of looked in a bad way in both of those fights. So it's kind of quite a bitter moment right now for Cameron Smotherman because he was doing pretty well. He was doing well. He was doing well. Got into the UFC, beat Jake Hadley, and then 2 fight skid. Not good. So yeah, could be in danger. To be fair, could be in danger. Nah, probably not in danger of being cut. That's crazy. Then again, the way they've been cutting people recently, maybe. It'd be a shame. It'd be a shame to see him go only 4 fights in. But yeah, I think he has an alright chance, to be honest with you. I do. I think he's got an alright chance. I just think Cameron Smotherman actually has a decent grappling game, a decent top heavy wrestling game, and Kaya Sakura's got an alright grappling game too. But I feel like Kaya Sakura is the kind of guy that is used to being. I feel like one thing we learned from the Pantoja fight and the Tim Elliott fight, to be fair, the thing with Kaya Sakura is that he's used to being the hammer and not the nail. He's used to being the hammer, not the nail. And I think if Cameron Smotherman can make him into the nail, he will wilt under that. He will wilt. He will wilt if he's not first, if he's not hitting harder, and he will wilt. And I think Cameron Smotherman can actually. This is a winnable fight for Cameron Smotherman, even though he's being kind of wrote off here. So crazy enough, I do think I'm going to go with Cameron Smotherman. I think it's a really big ask for him. Like, I do think it's a big ask. I do. But it is a winnable fight for him, man. It is a winnable fight. Oh, I'm crazy. Why am I doing this? I just think it's a winnable fight for him. I do. I think it's a really winnable fight. Then, what's the notice like? Would he? I don't know. I don't know. Now, you know what? I'm gonna be crazy. I want to go with Cameron Smotherman by submission. Crazy, crazy work. Crazy work. No, yeah, yeah. We'll let it lay. We'll let it lay. Oh, I can't let it lay. One more look. One more look. Um, I've just got a feeling. I don't know why. You know what? I am. I'm going with Cameron Smotherman. And you know what? I'm going with a decision. It's going to be a decision victory for Cameron Smotherman over Kaya Sakura. It's going to be a little bit boring, but I think it's going to happen. I think Cameron Smotherman's gonna win. So yeah, I'm picking Cameron Smotherman as an underdog. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Next fight is Sergey Pavlovich versus Talison Teixeira. I'm going with Sergey Pavlovich. I think he's going to chin him, and I think he's going to chin him fairly quickly. Talison Teixeira, sure, also a big guy, also hits hard, but you know, you know, got chinned by Derek Lewis, who isn't amazing, and then won a decision against Taito Ivasa, and Taito Ivasa's just fat. Like, Taito Ivasa is just fat, and therefore in the heavyweight division. Like, shouldn't even be in the heavyweight division, to be honest with you. But yeah, is just obese. Is just morbidly obese. But yeah, Talison Teixeira, man, what a guy. We're going with Sergey Pavlovich to absolutely blast his head off his fucking shoulders. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think he's been a little bit more hesitant. So he gets chinned by Aspinall, loses a decision to Volkov, beats Rosenstrike by decision, and then beats Waldo Cortez Acosta by decision. Like, I feel like now that he's when he's against guys that have the knockout power potential, because Rosenstrike really does have knockout potential. Rosenstrike had a lot of first round finishes. Waldo Cortez Acosta was chinning everybody right before, right before. Um, it's just how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. But yeah, interesting one. It is an interesting one. But yeah, when he knows he's dealing with guys with big power, he kind of tries to avoid it. And, you know, Talison does have power, but I don't think he's got. I don't think he's got it. You know, I just don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got enough power to have Pavlovich scared enough to play a decision game. To be like, oh, I've got to stay safe. I've got to stay safe. I think he's gonna chin him. I really do. So yeah, contrary to the previous one, yeah, and everyone agrees with me anyway. Contrary to the previous one where I picked the underdog, I completely agree with the odds makers. I think Sergey Pavlovich is going to chin Talison Teixeira. So yeah, absolutely bonk him. On to the next one. No, yes, that's Sergey Pavlovich by TKO over Talison Teixeira. On to the next one. We've got Zhang Ming Yang versus Alonzo Menafield. I'm thinking Zhang, to be honest with you. Both coming off of a loss. Lost to Johnny Walker. Got chinned by Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's weird though. Yeah, and then Volkan Ozdemir chinned Alonzo Menafield. Yeah, I want to go with Zhang. I do think with Zhang, you got home crowd advantage. When Americans chant like USA. I don't know what maybe the Chinese chant CCP, CCP. I don't know, but like they're going to be chanting that, and it's going to power them up. The Americans will be chanting USA, but not in America. We're in China, so they're going to be chanting CCP, CCP, and then Zhang is going to get powered up. That's what you don't understand. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for Alonzo Menafield. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. And don't get me wrong, his losses have been to good guys, and beating Umar Sy is a good win as well. And Julius Walker's an alright win. Split decision's a bit like, ugh. But it's an okay win. Meanwhile, Carlos Ulberg is now champion. Azamat Muzakhanov, pretty decent. Not amazing, but pretty decent. And then you've got Volkan Oezdemir, you know, also pretty decent. It's an interesting one. Whereas, you know, beating Anthony Smith, so what? Beating Ozzy Diaz, so it's an okay win. Benson Ribeiro, I don't like Benson Ribeiro. I think he's trash. Tuco Tacos, cut from the UFC. Cut from the UFC now. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I need to get chinned by Johnny Walker. Let's see what the physical lineup is like. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Zhang. I'm gonna go with Zhang. I feel like they're giving it to Zhang again. I'm agreeing with the odds maker. I do think Zhang's gonna get this one done. Yeah. Main event time. The big one. The biggest. The big one. We've got Song Yadong versus Davidson Figueiredo. Aging Davidson Figueiredo. How old are you? 38-year-old Davidson Figueiredo versus 10 years his junior, 28-year-old Song Yadong. Interesting one, man. Interesting one. Yeah, it's actually tough just because it's aging Davidson Figueiredo, and Figgy's still, like, you know, tough, and he still hits hard, and he's still, you know, crafty vets and stuff. But I don't know, he's just not the same fighter. You know, the age is catching up. Time beats everybody. You know, time beats everybody, and I do feel like maybe Song Yadong gets it done. I don't know. He's the heavy favorite. I mean, right there. He is the heavy favorite. So everyone's thinking Song Yadong by a decision or by TKO. I don't know. I don't know. Is Song Yadong at the level of Umar Nurmagomedov, Sandhagen, Peter Yan? I don't know. I don't know. A win over Henry Cejudo was pretty good, but, you know, he won by poking him. Won via eye poke. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I feel like maybe he just got a layup, really. Yeah. Suppose he's lost to, you know, Peter Yan, champion. Former and current champion now. Sean O'Malley, former champion. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't want to just go with Song Yadong, because I actually feel like Figgy's got more of a chance than to being a fucking plus 320 underdog. I think that's a bit mad. Yeah, maybe. Maybe age has just caught up with him. Yeah, to be fair, I think maybe age has just caught up with him. Uh, yeah, you know what? We're gonna go with Song Yadong by a decision. It's sad to say it, but maybe. I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, we're gonna go with Song Yadong over Davidson Figueiredo. I think it's gonna be a decision, and I think that does conclude this prediction video. Look at that, under 30 minutes. I had to do this one quick. My apologies. If it will show up. This is a desk fan. It's very warm. It's rather warm right now in the old United Kingdom. So I had to buzz this video out before the room got too hot and became unbearable. I think 28 minutes, 50 something seconds is pretty good. But yeah, that concludes these predictions. And until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around.